I just encountered a narrative regarding an extraordinary metamorphosis. Initially, 30% may appear insignificant. However, Ripple is purportedly collaborating with roughly 1/3 of the globe's banking institutions, which is intriguing. This may explain why XRP's value surged to an impressive $1.4270, marking a substantial increase from its initial position. The proof necessary for this part exists. Nonetheless, the inquiry pertains to whether these banks are fully leveraging Ripple's capabilities. It seems they are not, hence we shall explore this topic in greater depth today. We will also examine fresh information indicating that Ripple may become publicly traded by the end of March. As March concludes, this action may propel the price of XRP to unprecedented levels, attaining a percentage to exceed 100%. To process the action of linking to an auditor hanging out in the OTC market, an astonishing $8.97 within a month. Greetings and welcome back to the platform where you may acquire comprehensive knowledge about XRP. Prior to commencing today's post, let us briefly reconvene. I would be grateful if you could assist me. Press the like, subscribe, and bell icons to become part of our exceptional community. We will inform you when we get. As we near 10,000 subscribers, we are organizing a substantial XRP reward. To participate in the contest, adhere to these 3 straightforward procedures, ensuring you are prepared and vigilant. Ensure to incorporate a code for the financial aspect in the comments. SBI possesses roughly 4% of all deposits from foreign bank accounts. In the large picture, SBI could represent 4% of the 30% worldwide banking sector and may utilize Ripple's technology. Nonetheless, this is merely the inception. Ripple has secured a notable agreement with the Central Bank of Brazil to offer its on-demand liquidity services. If you viewed my prior post, you are aware that this is merely one component of the worldwide puzzle. In the movie, we examine the BRIC states and their similarities to China, South Africa, and Brazil. In comparing the global GDP to that of the BRICS nations, it is observed that they represent approximately 29% of the total economic output worldwide. This indicates that Russia and India maintain direct associations with Ripple for on-demand liquidity and central bank digital currency, CBDCs. And fascinating selection, there may be considerable consequences if all 5 BRIC states opt to partner with Ripple. I previously addressed this topic in a video examining the viability of integrating CBDCs into the XRP ledger and the measures now underway. The importance of the XRP ledger in this context cannot be overstated. It is an essential element of how the Federal Reserve's public statement significantly shifted the discourse around Ripple's rising role in financial technology, indicating that both XRP and XLM could be essential in establishing the blockchain infrastructure for their future Federal Reserve system. The evolving economy enhances the potential of Ripple's technology as we anticipate the forthcoming bull market. Payment method. The Federal Reserve emphasized that partnering with Metal Blockchain is essential for reconciling existing banking institutions with the decentralized finance sector, hence enabling a smooth transition from fiat to stablecoins. At present, Americans may facilitate rapid payments domestically, mostly using third-party applications such as Venmo and PayPal, digital wallets for cryptocurrencies. Nonetheless, the FedNow service will revolutionize the landscape. Despite being in the testing phase, over 120 firms have already registered to utilize the platform, including several payment processors, solution providers, and prominent banks such as U.S. Bank and Exchange Bank. This incident illustrates the evolution of blockchain technology. It is increasingly broadly embraced and employed in conventional financial services, signifying a pivotal moment in the amalgamation of established banks with the burgeoning domain of decentralized finance. As a leader in distributed ledger technology and cross-border payment solutions, Ripple is anticipated to play a significant role in the FedNow initiative, which is being driven by the Federal Reserve. It is probable that Lumen's XLM, recognized for its blockchain-based network that accelerates and reduces the cost of international transactions, would integrate with the Federal Reserve. The narrative takes an exciting turn within the ecology. Recently, the fintech community observed a narrative in which XRP surged to $1.0.42 as 30% of banks globally commenced its utilization. It is remarkable progress, illustrating the revolutionary capacity of blockchain technology inside the financial sector. The narrative indicates that 30% of global banks are currently utilizing XRP for cross-border transactions, resulting in a remarkable value surge to $1,427.00. This degree of adoption signifies that a substantial number of individuals want XRP, resulting in its price attaining unprecedented highs alongside its market capitalization passing through the roof. The narrative becomes increasingly captivating once the revelation that XRP's market share approaches 30%. The ascent of XRP represents not only a triumph for Ripple, but also a prospective revenue stream for purchasers. This indicates that its utilization in the global financial system would escalate further. It was reported 6 days ago that XRP transactions may exceed the $120.00 quadrillion required to facilitate its expense. As financial institutions increasingly adopt the XRP system and its digital assets, the value of $10.00 today signifies a substantial transformation. The news has been disseminated and it is irrevocable. The Ripple purchase program is increasingly precise and has beyond mere speculation. It was expected that it would impact Ripple Labs, the entity responsible for creating XRP, although they are also participating. A recent story revealed that Ripple is initiating a substantial buyback of almost 1 billion XRP, suggesting considerable confidence in the value of XRP and its future in the banking sector. The narrative intensifies upon the revelation that the Federal Reserve is actively seeking to incorporate XRP into global payment networks rather than passively observing from afar. Should central banks adopt XRP more widely, its value may climb to between $12,000.00 and $22.00 per currency, resulting in substantial consequences. This substantial increase in value illustrates the potential of XRP to transform the manner of global financial transactions. This series of events represents a pivotal advancement for Ripple and XRP, positioning them at the vanguard of financial innovation and possessing the capacity to revolutionize global payment systems. Google's observations have been corroborated, endorsing the Federal Reserve's intention to utilize XRP as a global payment solution due to its remarkable flexibility. As promised, we will share some shocking leaked documents with you. There are growing hints that the Federal Reserve has been contemplating XRP for an extended period. Several weeks prior, the Federal Reserve declared its acceptance of XRP on a global scale in compliance with the ISO 427 standard. This substantial plan was scheduled for implementation by the conclusion of 2023. The narrative intensifies upon the revelation that XRP is referenced alongside prominent currencies issued by governments and central banks, including the US dollar, euro, British pound, and Canadian dollar. However, unforeseen delays hindered XRP's immediate adoption as a legally recognized currency following regulatory approval. Google readers indicate that the Federal Reserve intends to utilize the XRP digital asset. Kikuchi, a government official, asserts that the public chain of XRPO ought to be utilized for the establishment of a side chain. Kian, an expert, asserts that this strategy would enable the Fed to engage directly with creative private sector concepts, so enhancing its efficacy.